It's a nice song from the 1998 from the World Soccer Cup in France and Copa del Mer. Looks so. I doing different this month because I'm some sort of trying to do a little fun out of all this, of all my collection and my lawsuits, and so today I'm talking first about case L1004. I'm updating all the invoices and I'm sending them all out again. They go to different people. I need to send them. In the Argentinian case, I send. I think that maybe the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, the one that maybe is the more important of all the people I have contacted when it comes to the lawsuits in Argentina. Because one of the ladies was involved in this case. She is Israeli citizen and she's married to a Calabrese cousin of mine, and they are Argentinians, and you know, I mean, it's about property. I own property in Argentina that they come from my mom and from my dad. My dad sold all of them, but not my mom, because my mom passed away, and I managed them since 1996. So it's been 25 years that I manage property in Argentina, and it's a very hard task, okay? Because Argentina has very complicated laws. It's a very complicated country, and on this scenario, what happens is a big, huge black market for property in Argentina. So a lot of companies, like my cousin, I need to be in Argentina really to understand this, but my cousin, he plays that he's a very successful engineer and he does construction. He's not. He's a very successful black market manager of cash dollars. After the United States, Argentina is the country that has more dollars cash outside America. It's billions of dollars of dollar cash. And then once you manage property in Argentina, you need to get involved with the black market of the payments cash in dollars. And I'm not used to that, because the other countries that I have similar cases, because I lived in those countries, which is Brazil, United States, and Ireland, you don't have that. If you buy property in Brazil, in America, or in Ireland, or in United Kingdom, Italy, you may have some part of the transaction that's going to be done under the table. I mean, it happens all over the world. You always have, let's not declare everything, let's declare a little bit. Maybe I'm buying property from you, like I give you one car, and this car, okay, I just give this car to you and I give you a discount, and the car was worth $5,000, you understand? So that's okay sometimes. But Argentina is the opposite. It's usually when you buy or sell property in Argentina, it's like they'll be declared $5,000 on the buy and sell, the contract, and cash is going to be $300,000 cash. And I have seen that in one case when Ricardo Desumvilla and Sofia Nietzsche, they were present. I was shocked. I was terrified. Actually, I was working in North Carolina at that time in a very large furniture project I was conducting. And we were open to 100 stores of furniture all across the United States. And out of the blue, I had to take a plane and come back to Argentina to do everything, like from cleaning the house to emptying the house, signing papers and all that. And then my cousins out of the blue from Israel and Argentina, they showed up getting this money cash, and they just run away. And I was like, what is that? And it was money that they did slander and defamation against me in order to justify that my brothers and they should be in possession of those dollars cash, not me. Even if it was my house, it was the result of over 10 years of work, and my cousins have nothing to do with this. But like now I understand. I'm working now in Argentina for over 1 year. It is really difficult, and then you go to the ocean of the black market, and it is hard. That's the number one reason I understand why Argentina is so difficult and why Argentina has so many problems. Okay, so on this selection today of my lawsuits, I saw for case L1004-21. Uh, it's over 1 year's massive amount of documentation, attorneys, the Colegio de Abogados, the Brazilian, the Argentinian police, brothers in Brazil, and you're like, when this case is going to be normalized, and it takes forever, and I keep doing meetings. This is a letter I sent. Now it's to the federal police of Cordoba. This is in order to try to regularize a bit, make it a bit more logic. It's like, is there any chance we do something a bit civilized here, that people just pay and then they move on? It's barbaric, and it's very crazy because it's white collar barbaric. It's barbaric but white collar, not on a physical level. Like if you go to Argentina to a restaurant, it'll be very, very chic at the end. People will be eating with a knife and fork, and I saw that. Argentinians, they eat hamburgers with a knife and a fork. I have seen that. That's an extreme civilized situation. I'm serious, like hamburgers with a knife and the delicious hamburger. And like, I've seen that. I'm like, well, that's pretty, but that's the physical. Physically speaking, it's not that barbaric. But white collar Argentina, mamma mia, is bar, eye for eye, teeth for teeth, money here, payment there. But then you have a contract, then you have the white collar, and that's why Argentina has collapsed. If you follow Argentina news, you see that it seems to me that my impression, and by what's happening in Argentina now, is that the government of China has sponsored populist governments in Argentina that they're very ignorant, so and lazy, so they want quick. And then for 20 years Argentina has been on this, and everybody was like trying to understand why. But now the Chinese government twisted, and now they're investing on the liberals. So it's the people that will sell Argentina to the Chinese. So the Chinese now are paying cheap for Argentina, and it is a strategy. Once I appreciate the fact that China has interest in Argentina, because the United States has no interest in Argentina, Europe has no interest in Argentina, and I think the United Kingdom has zero interest in Argentina, but the Chinese do. They're interested in Argentina, and it seems they have a purchasing plan, and that's why it seems they're putting it in action now. You have ICBC Bank. It's like everywhere in Argentina now. They're already teaching Mandarin in public schools in Brazil. So it seems that China's coming, and in order to really make this country a little bit more organized, at least, because the impression you have here is that it's a party time. It's all about partying, and people survive on associations and unions. That was another case. I'm trying to buy rice here for years, and then I did insist this time that I'm here physically, and then I had meetings with the Chamber of Commerce of cereals here, and it's a multiplication of unions and federations and associations. So at the end, you can't find a producer, and it's because that's how people survive. Everybody's on survival modes. It's like the entire country depends on the 2 to 5% royalties from shipping 10-20 containers of soybeans to China, and then they split this 2 to 5%. So it's not a big of a population. It's 40 million. People don't work here. If they say they work, but it's always related to associations and unions, and so it's about politics. Working in Argentina is politics, and anything else is survival. It's cleaning, but the basics, very basics. Food, the basic, and yeah, but I believe that China is going to do a good job. It seems to me, okay, that China is coming, okay, and so on the case L1004-21 against Ricardo Desumvilla, because he was the key person that had fucked up, sorry the word, my property management in Argentina. He's the one who involved on my stay here, and I didn't invite him. My brothers did, and I do not know. That was done behind the scenes. I don't know how that was that was conducted, but he showed up, and so there's invoices. There's 3 invoices in Argentina. There's the invoice L1021 against Ricardo Desumvilla. It's about $49,000, which is interest rates for 3 years of lending this money for his businesses in Cordoba, plus $10,000 that he has never refunded to my brother. So that's there. It's in the justice in Argentina, and we expect him to pay. Instead of paying, they do the same thing all the debtors do. It's more slandering, defamation. He said all sorts of lies. And okay, I know, thank you very much, but is there any chance you pay and let me go? One of the things he says that I'm not Italian, that I am Sudaca. Look, it should see, look, it's a collection of slander and defamation against me. That's one of the invoices. The second invoice is against Piazza Immobiliaria. It's a real estate company here that they took advantage of this scenario, as I have two properties which are rents and are managed by this real estate agency. They took advantage of that, and they are officially paying again to the black market. So I'm the official, so they just pay to my inheritance administration maybe $20 a month, and then about 200. The figures are very small in dollars, but local money is big money. And then on the black market, they charge the spread, and I don't know where is this money. So since March 2021, I sent to the Piazza Immobiliaria the invoice of the rents, the balance. Okay, you mind paying that? And why March 2021? Because from March 2021 until March 2010, 10 years, I'm charging the Colegio de Abogados de Argentina to pay for rents of 3 properties here, because it was the attorneys in Argentina that they created an association where they decided to defraud me and scam me because I am in America. So then it goes also to the American embassy, to the British. I like understand what's the problem with Europeans who own property in Argentina, because it goes into hate crime and all that. So it's 3 invoices: $50,000 against the Colegio de Abogados, which is the attorneys association here, so that they cover up this 10 years of rents. It's about $500 not only, which is from the real estate agency since March now, and $49,000 against Ricardo Desumvilla for interest rates and refund of $10,000 cash that he hasn't returned to my brother in Brazil. And what's here? So I send in letters. I send even this case. I have reported also to the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, because as the Argentinian police do nothing, as the Argentinian attorneys, they do nothing, and as the Chinese government still hasn't occupied and established something serious here, and we are waiting for that to happen. Because I believe that's what's going to happen. So I'm asking for assistance from the Israeli embassy, because one of the key people here is Sofia Nietzsche. She's an Israeli citizen, and she's married to my cousin, and she was present. She was counting all these dollars as $107,000 cash. That happened 2011, and so I said, look, as the police in Argentina do nothing, as the police in Brazil do nothing else, and as the attorneys in Brazil even less, and everybody's it's crazy. It seems like everybody to work here, they're waiting for it's like a Grammy Awards style car to come with secretaries on a red carpet and offer them food and things, so they will work actually, because otherwise it's going to be all politics. I understand, but it's a payment process. That goes also why Argentina is such a collapsing country. And then it's like, okay, is there any chance the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, as she is an Israeli citizen, can start this case, do some sort of work? It's just a phone call, say, hello, how are you, Sofia Nietzsche, how are you doing? Is there any chance you process this payment and we wrap it up this case and close it? That's what. And then go back to myself. I'm an Italian citizen, so I'm in Argentina as an Italian, European Union, so I also report everything to the Italian embassy as well, and I do ask the Italian embassy to interfere and says, any chance the Italian embassy in Argentina gets these cases? And I have other cases too, and because I am in Argentina physically as an Italian citizen. I was born in Argentina. I do have full rights here, but I am not Argentinian enough. I am not, because I didn't go to school here. I am very foreign here. as a person. I grew up overseas. I don't speak the local language. They speak Spanish. I understand the words, but I don't function. I just want my payment process so that I can leave the country as they want, because they are the ones who call Americans Yankees, Italians Tenos, Brazilians of Merda, and all that. Like I know you guys don't like foreigners, but there's any chance you process your payments and the foreigners leave the country. That's basically the big principle. And then it's very easy, okay, to say you hate all the foreigners, but then you sit on the Cologne, Teatro Cologne, that was built by Italians. All the obelisks were built by German Argentinians. You don't understand what I'm saying? Is there any chance that then go back to Argentinian politics? It's all about payment, do pay, not pay, pay, not pay, and that's everybody who follows the news in Argentina. It's all about the debt and when are they going to pay, and to pay they have to work, but working in Argentina is politics, and politics does not generate money. Politics is politics. You need to produce. Okay, so that's case one. All right, so let's go back to the next video.